They are among Louisiana's best and brightest. They have distinguished themselves as preeminent writers, artists, and entrepreneurs. They are Louisiana legends. Funding for this program is provided by Roy O. Martin. Based in Alexandria, Louisiana, wood products company Roy O. Martin is proud to fulfill our founder's legacy in supporting the social, educational, and cultural needs of our local communities. Learn more at royomartin.com. The Louisiana Lottery is proud to join LPB in honoring Louisiana legends, contributing over $3.7 billion for K-12 public education. The lottery is giving Louisiana a reason to smile.
Good evening. I'm Beth Courtney, president of Louisiana Public Broadcasting, and welcome to Louisiana Legends. From the small delta town of St. Joseph to the busy markets of Cape Town, South Africa, our guest Rebecca Vizard has traveled the world shopping for exotic textiles. We're delighted to have this 2019 legend as our guest in the studio. Becky, we're so pleased you can be here.
Well, thank you so much.
Yes.
I love being here.
Well, we're going to talk about all these beautiful fabrics here in the studio, but right now, let's take a little look at a very short biography so our audience can know the story of your beautiful work and how it's benefiting your community.
Rebecca Vizard is a creative ball of fun energy that is relentless in her pursuit to make things happen around her.
Born in Fairbanks, Alaska, to Ruth and William Watson, Rebecca was only a year old when the family moved back to her father's hometown in Tensas Parish. Nestled in the heart of Delta country, the small town of St. Joseph, Louisiana, had a population of less than 2,000, with the closest city in any direction about 3 hours away.
She grew up in this rural atmosphere, as like this wild tomboy just running around all over the countryside, and it opened up her mind that you can do just about anything.
Her father was a banker, and her mother an English teacher who loved to travel.
My mom was also very close to her mom, and she always took mom places like to London and Europe and all over the world at an early age too, and that really opened my mom's eyes up to so much more, than just being in this small little town.
Fascinated with everything from architecture to art and clothing styles, Rebecca began collecting things from worldwide markets to bring back home.
Being in the middle of nowhere caused mom, I think, to at an early age start making things, something with clothes and textiles, and she picked up on that through traveling with her parents, taking her places and everything.
Following graduation from Tensas Academy in 1977, Rebecca headed for Newcomb College in New Orleans with intentions of never moving back to her small hometown. With a double major in art and communications in hand, she fell in love with the city and New Orleanian Michael Vizard. They married in 1984, and their first child, Sarah, was born in 1986. The next year, Michael received a generous job offer from Rebecca's father, and they hesitantly moved back home to the cypress-lined shores of Lake Bruin. The following year, their son, Michael Ross, was born.
We grew up with a long gravel driveway in the front and a cotton field or corn, depending on the season, and a lake, beautiful Oxbow Lake in the back.
Much like her own childhood, Rebecca encouraged her children to make things.
She also was very good about keeping us entertained in very creative ways. We were always making costumes or putting on shows.
Rebecca's first entrepreneurial venture began with painting socks. Splatter painting was trendy at the time. She developed a plan and approached her father, known as Touchdown, for a bank loan to get the business going. He turned her down, saying she had no business experience.
And that really fueled my mom's even more so to make sure that she was gonna make this work. And we had socks all over our backyard, and she hired some high school girls to come out and help splatter paint socks. And she was selling to JCPenney and Talbot's, and she pretty much proved Touchdown wrong.
Following the success in the sock business, Rebecca began decorating their home and added a studio for design work. It wasn't long before friends began hiring her to add a new look to their homes.
Soon enough, she was doing big-time interior design projects in New York, and Houston and New Orleans, and then so she was just all over the place.
When hired to furnish a project in New York, Rebecca spent a great amount of time looking for pillows. And it was at the 26th Street flea market where she found a tattered priest robe with beautifully painted ribbon and a curtain panel to match that a new line of elegant, one-of-a-kind antique pillows began. With the help of mentor Marina Tossini, an antique textile expert, and encouraged by New Orleans' top designer Jerry Brimmerman, Rebecca knew this was what she was meant to do.
She was doing them all on her own, to the designing and cutting, sewing, and it really took off.
With orders coming in from places like Neiman Marcus, it wasn't long before she began teaching and hiring people from her local community to help in the business.
She started employing more and more people and giving, people who had really kind of lost any hope of ever finding consistent work.
Today, the global headquarters for BViz Designs in the town of St. Joseph is quite an enterprise.
She took it outside of her home studio in order to help create a tax base for her tiny little town.
It's become kind of a cool hot spot for design. They're in the middle of virtually nowhere, and that's an amazing achievement.
She's regarded as an artistic expert in repurposing and making these beautiful pillows out of very fine textiles and collectibles, fragments from all over the world.
They are sort of the statement piece, if you will, of a room. They help us pull the room together, but in a very, very unique way. It's eye candy with a southern drawl is how I always explain it, because you can almost hear her talk, and when you see them, they're wonderful works of art.
She's just warm and gregarious and friendly, and she walks into the door and lights up a room.
Becky, we are really surrounded by all this beautiful textiles. And you have to tell us about some of them before we go into any other stories, because I really am just fascinated. This one, of course, is a pelican.
This is from an ecclesiastic piece, and quite often you will see the pelican in religious textiles, because the pelican this is the analogy to Christ, because the pelican pecks itself to feed its young.
All these beautiful textiles you make into pillows.
Right.
Now, how long have you been doing this now?
I did my first pillow in '94, so 25 years.
Did you ever think you would be this successful?
No. I did not. I never dreamed that from a little bitty town of a population of 1,100 that I would find enough people in the world who could appreciate this craftsmanship and pay for the amount of time it takes to make these.
Well, you've certainly traveled the world looking for some of these textiles, but you also, now I understand, are happy to be at home. What does it mean to be at home in St. Joe?
Well, I had somebody tell me not long ago, the grass is always greener until you've seen enough lawns. I thought that was very appropriate, because I have fortunately gotten to travel a lot, but throughout all my travels, I've just figured out that where I live is one of the most beautiful places on earth, and I love the people. I love the weather, even though it's Louisiana, living on a lake that's always about 10 degrees cooler, and I just love being home and getting to putter around in my studio and make things.
Well, coming home is something we talk a lot about now, and certainly the rural parts of America. We worry about rural America because population declining and finding jobs. You must be a boon to your town.
Well, what I really love is that everyone working for me seems to absolutely love what they do. And it is, I think, from traveling in so many affluent circles when I'm selling these pillows, it made me realize that I have the ability to connect these people to the people in our little town. In a way, my journey has made me more focused on providing jobs as well as making beautiful things. But seeing people's lives transform has been just the icing on the cake.
Were you always like this as a child?
I don't know. I do know I was an only child, and I had to, I never got bored. I always was making things and keeping myself busy, and I think that's probably one of the benefits of being an only child. You have to make your own fun, and you don't have a brother or sister to run around and pick on.
Well, you also like to go outdoors, I think. That's probably another key, right?
I do. I have to say, we have some really rich Delta soil where we live, and I can't even grow anything dwarf. When I have a design dilemma, if I go out and pull a few weeds, I come back in and my head's clear, and I can always solve the problem.
Well, you studied at Newcomb, Sophie Newcomb of Tulane University now. What did you study?
Well, I double majored in art and in communications, which I think one of my favorite courses was art history. And I think this is sort of a perfect blending of what I learned growing up, which was sewing and making things, and the history behind all these pieces, and then the composition to put them together is just about like doing a painting.
Tell us about one of these fabrics we have here. I think this one was so interesting. It's from Turkey, you said?
Yes, it's from Turkey, the Ottoman Empire, probably from the mid-1900s, and I try to find pieces that the background is distressed, but the gold embroidery is still good. And little places like this, we will repair with some antique threads. My assistant cuts all of this out with little cuticle scissors, and then I have ladies who reapply it by hand, which sometimes, I think the most complicated pillow took 66 hours. So
when you say handmade, you truly mean handmade.
Yes.
But now, this is used how?
Well, this is called a bocha, and I also call it Turkish Tupperware. But they used to keep their valuables inside of this, and so they would wrap their most precious belongings in these beautiful handmade pieces.
Lovely, lovely. And this one underneath is just gorgeous.
Yes.
Look at this gold.
This actually is from Egypt. It was from, if my source is correct, it was from a King Farouk in about the 1930s, who I was told was overthrown by his subjects because he was too lavish and spent too much money. So I thought that was a great example of that.
Well, now your pillows. Why did you focus on pillows?
I used to do interior design, and I could do, the whole house, do everything. And we would get down to the pillows for the last thing, and it took forever to get the right pillow. And if you make a pillow just out of a new fabric, by the time you buy the down, the trim, the fabric, they can be very expensive. So I kept thinking people should be able to get something more special for their money. And the pillows are kind of like the jewelry for the room. You can do everything, but the pillows are sort of your accent. And that's how it started, from interior design, and then the pillows outgrew the interior design.
Well, I look at some of the young people these days, and they like homes, they're all white. Everything is just nothing, neutral. I guess you can still have a pillow.
Oh yeah, that's actually when my pillows probably look the best, because then they're the stars of the room.
So do you still do some traveling?
I do. I'm working on a trip to India, I hope, this coming winter, because I would like to go, so it'll be warmer there. And I always go through France, because my mentor, who taught me the most, is 99 years old and living right outside of Paris. So every trip I take, I try to go through Paris and see her, and also see my textile connections there.
You say your mentor. Now, what advice did she give you?
She has a very positive attitude, and she's very tenacious. She doesn't give up until she gets what she wants. And she taught me the art of negotiation. I learned a lot about the French and the Italians, because she's Italian, and she's got quite a few funny things to say about the French.
Would you go out into flea markets, if you will, to find some of these?
Yes.
I just would imagine how much fun to uncover something spectacular in a flea market. I fear that they're all gone now.
Well, it's getting harder. It really is. I used to find spectacular things every trip, and now I find beautiful things, but I don't always find, for instance, the really thick embroidery is very difficult to find now, and it kind of worries me. But But fortunately, the book that I did was sold in Paris and in London. The book is called Once Upon a Pillow. It's a beautiful book that teaches you about textiles, but it also goes through my entrepreneurial journey, which is rather humorous.
Yes. So we saw a little of that in your bio earlier, but that certainly was humorous. I guess your first big mass production were the socks, right?
Exactly. We ended up splatter painting socks for JCPenney's, and it all started because I wanted a loan for my business, and my father, being the president of the bank in the little town, turned me down, which I have to say just ignited my my desire to prove him wrong, and it was very motivating, and so
Yes,
I did prove him wrong.
And you did prove him wrong. I know that the night of Louisiana Legends, he was there with you, and that was so special.
He was very proud, and he can't believe I've done what I've done, and he always says, I have to admit, you know something I know nothing about, which has been. I told him I was going to put it on his tomb.
It's a wonderful thing that you've really taken your talents and then made it such a success entrepreneurially, but also helping the town of St. Joseph.
Yes, we've opened a shop in St. Joe, and I'm very excited to say, gosh, 3 more shops have opened, and we have several more coming. And we only have one little block, but it's a real cute block. It's all historic buildings, and it's become a happening place, particularly on Saturday mornings. So.
That is spectacular. I remember when Time magazine, a number of years back, did a story on, I think it was Lake Providence, and it said the poorest town in the whole United States.
Yes, and I was shocked because they at least had a Sonic and a Pizza Hut. We don't even have that.
I thought that too as I was looking at it, because of course my father was born in a town, Logansport, Louisiana, which about the same population, and I think small town America has a special place for everyone, even those who don't live there, who have memories of it, right?
Right. Well, and it's all different now. I mean, the internet, I could have never done this business without the internet. And for a long time, you could only get the pillows from a few vendors who sold them and on the internet. And that's really how I got going.
That's an amazing thing, really. But now you have bricks and mortar in New Orleans. Your daughter is helping you as well.
Yes, my daughter moved back to New Orleans from Colorado, and we have a shop on Magazine Street, and it's going great. We've been very, very busy, particularly this time of year is our busy time in the fall.
Everybody getting ready for holidays to dress up their homes or gifts.
Right. We kind of specialize in a lot of handmade gifts and things, and like jewelry, like this little necklace that's also made out of antique textiles. So,
do you also do Christmas ornaments or things like that?
We do. We have make little Christmas ornaments out of our scraps. By the time we finish with the textile, there are just a few threads left. We use every little inch of it.
Well, when you're looking back on all the trips, when you're looking for some of these, is there one that stands out, one unique moment?
There was a time that I bought an Albanian robe that was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen, and I got it for a wonderful price, and I was trying to figure out how to cut it because it didn't really lend itself to a pillow, but it was just gorgeous, and it's before I had the shop. If I had the shop, I would have put it in the shop. And I turned around with the purchase, and I walked back to show Marina, and she thought it was wonderful, and then somebody came up and offered me 10 times the price for it. I didn't even get it home.
Oh, wow.
And I asked him what he was going to do, and he said he was going to put it in a museum. And so I felt like that was divine intervention because I could not have cut it. You know, it was too pretty. It was too perfect.
So are there museums you go to get inspiration as well? What are your favorite museums?
Oh, gosh. It is hard to say because I go to museums everywhere I go.
Yes.
I do love the museum, what is it in Paris, that has the hunt scenes, and they have a lot of tapestries.
Right.
The Andre Jacquemart was also a beautiful place, a little off the beaten path. Oh, and the Victorian Albert. The Victorian Albert is probably my favorite.
I love looking at the costumes in some of our costume dramas we've seen, like Downton Abbey.
The first time I watched it, I kept asking my husband what just happened, and he said, "You're staring at the TV. Why didn't you understand what happened?" And I said, "Because I'm looking at the costumes." And and the decor. And so I had to really watch it once for the set and then once for the story. So.
We went to a museum of London, which I'd never been to. My family lived in England for a time, but we had never been. It's not the Victoria and Albert Museum. It's really the Museum of London. But down in the basement, they have all of these actual dresses that were worn at that same period, sort of turn of the century. Spectacular. And we got to see the dresses that were the inspiration.
Oh, how wonderful.
And that was just, I mean, they were beautiful fabrics.
Great. Well, I know the Met this past year had a wonderful exhibit too that just was phenomenal.
So your daughter has come home. Now your son is in Nashville, is that right?
That's right. He's married and working there. And my daughter, we call her the pillow pusher. She is now in charge of all the sales, and it's wonderful because for the first time, I really have time to focus on just making the pillows. And so we're ahead of production this year, which is
how wonderful.
Really, it's
so
exciting.
What is the process exactly? So you have inspiration from the fabric itself.
Right. I bring the things home, and then, for instance, my assistant will start cutting these out.
Right.
These are for the embroideries. We also make things out of tapestries and Suzannes and Fortuny and all kinds of pieces. But we start cutting things out, and then I try to look at the patina of the gold to decide what color I think it looks best on. And then I really pay attention to the negative space to try to make sure there's not too much velvet showing or too little. And so there really is a design process, but I design them in my studio, and all of my ladies sew out of their homes. So we put everything together in a package for them, and each one has a design sheet with my drawing, and I've got measurements where everything needs to go.
Any inspiration, you know, of people watching and they're thinking, I want to do something different. You had mentors, but you really had to find your own path, if you will.
Right.
And you were very sad when you had to leave the city at first to move back.
Oh yeah, I thought my life was over in the beginning. That's kind of the beautiful part of the story is I kind of pouted for about 4 years, and during that time the sock business was blossoming, so that was great, but I really didn't want to paint socks the rest of my life. And anyway, after the socks took off and I made a nice little amount of money, I decorated my home, which was always my passion. I always wanted to go to interior design school, but my dad, back in 1981, said, "Sweetheart, I'm so sorry, but that's what ladies do for fun, and you're going to have to make a living."
Yes, I remember my father suggesting that similar things to me.
Yeah. And anyway, so by the time I did I kind of fell into interior design after decorating my house, and then and that's how the pillows happened. And this is really just, I feel so lucky because making a pillow is sort of like meditation. I mean, it's very peaceful. It's so zen when I'm in the studio and just measuring, and all my problems fly away when I'm thinking about creating a pillow. So.
Well, are you thinking of, they're available online, but at your shop?
They are. They're available online, and then also the shop in St. Joseph and in New Orleans. Though, of course, New Orleans has more pillows. So.
Right. But also, does Neiman Marcus still take your pillows or not?
No. I actually, doing the project for Neiman's, I supplied them with pillows for 22 of their major stores, and it almost killed me. It was a little over 200 and something pillows that I had to get all at once and ship out at once, and I can't do them that fast. I just So I like being small and having quality control and just putting them out as we make them.
What was it like for you the night we had Louisiana Legends? I looked at you and you had such a great group of people. 2019 was a wonderful, fun night, although it was pouring rain.
It was pouring rain. It was very stressful getting there, but it was just a magical night. I mean, I had heard that it was a fabulous party and it was really wonderful, but it was over the top wonderful. The space was incredible, and just everything that LPB did was so magical.
Well, one of the things we like to think about is we worry about all the problems we have in Louisiana. And I know there's a lot of poverty in the Delta.
Yes.
But one of the things we like to look at are opportunities for success and how you can carry on into the future.
Right. I have a little fun project that I work with a lot of kids that are local, and I get them to hammer bottle caps, Coke caps, beer caps, and we string them and make chandeliers, and we We actually call it the beer delire, even though some of them are made out of Coke caps. But and I pay the kids by the bottle cap, and I make them do the math before they get paid. So they've kind of started this mantra at school that if you know your math, you could make money. So,
Isn't that great? Now you sell these in your shops?
I have these in my shop in St. Joe, and I think we have a few on the website.
So that's a wonderful way of cleaning up as well as learning to be entrepreneurial.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. I wanted everyone to think about when they see trash on the ground. Don't just leave it there. Either pick it up, think of something you can make out of it. It's free. I mean, it's a way to make money with trash. You know.
Isn't that what a great way of doing that? Are you thinking of spreading this idea around? Maybe we should help you do that.
Well, I know. Yeah. When we were in South Africa, I came back with a lot of products that were handmade and a lot of things made out of trash, and that's my hope, is that I can get something going in the town where we can have a little kind of creative co-op for people to come and make things, and also work on quality control by they get paid when it sells, so that they understand how they have to do their best to make it good.
That is so interesting. So yeah. I wonder if we've talked sometime about, open spaces and retirement communities or things like that. Certainly, It sounds like Louisiana would be a great place to have that happen.
Right. I've talked even with the lady from the Council on Aging, and we've talked about doing some projects together. And I just think, if somebody's sitting there doing nothing, they might as well be making something.
Well, these are just beautiful. Well, is there any one piece you'd like to tell me about this pillow? My favorite.
This is really spectacular. This was the center of a bocha like that, but it was a very big piece, a larger one, and it took forever to cut it out. My assistant, Belinda, cuts everything so perfectly. When I used to do them, before she started helping me, I would glue the backs of everything because I was so afraid I would snip.
Right.
If you snip a thread, the whole thing comes undone. So Belinda spent a lot of time cutting that out and then reapplying it by hand. So it took forever. And I just think the sunburst is amazing. It's very
it's beautiful.
It looks a little modern and antique.
Fleur-de-lis are always popular in Louisiana.
Yes, we're hoping this will pull the Saints through for this year.
We hope this as well. Well, it is so wonderful what you are doing, and it's such a pleasure to visit with you, Rebecca.
Well, thank you so much.
This is really fun, and we wish you all the very best, and hope you will inspire others to do some of the wonderful things that you're doing.
Thank you so much.
Well, for many years, the LPB's Louisiana Legends series has highlighted the stories of some of our state's most outstanding individuals. Be sure to tune in for more in-depth interviews with our Louisiana Legends and visit us online at lpb.org/Louisiana Legends. Thank you for joining us. Good evening.
Since 1923, Roy O. Martin, a Louisiana-based wood products company, has followed the example of its founder to give back to our Louisiana communities where we live and work. To learn more, visit royomartin.com. The Louisiana Lottery is proud to join LPB in honoring the 2018 Louisiana Legends, contributing over $3.5 billion for K-12 public education. The lottery is giving Louisiana a reason to smile.
For a copy of this program, call 1-800-973-7246 or go online to www.lpb.org.